Before we start the video, if any of you want to leave any circuit requests or maybe just show some pictures of rooms you're working on, join the Zombie 878 City Club and there's a chat where I will chat to people. People will show maps they're working on and I show things I'm working on and we can talk about circuits here if you're having trouble. Now let's get into the video. Welcome back to the next part of making our little dungeon crawler here. If you have followed the tutorial so far, you should have a basic room, you know, maybe a welcome mat, whatever you want. Or maybe you're just taking notes and you're seeing how I make circuits and things like that. And yeah, I know these archways don't look like circles right now. It's because you need to select them first and this happens every time you save it. But honestly, this looks very nice for a doorway, so we're going to keep it that way. So anyway, what we are it was lagging for a bit. Okay. So what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the room settings because we need to do the room settings before anything else. The room settings are actually really important. So as you know, I went over the room settings before. We're just going to have to set up some of the room settings. So a room description, let's just have a basic room description saying go through a dungeon crawler for right now. Go through a dungeon crawler. And then we are going to save our description. The description is more for something, more like something you work on at the end. Then we're going to set the max player count to the entry subroom because I'm just going to keep it at 4. Right now it's not at 4. We're going to change that. We can do some tags. So I'm going to go ahead and delete both these tags. I'm going to click on quest and I am going to say oh, I think you need to do a hashtag. No, you don't need to do a hashtag. Just go ahead and put whatever tags you're doing. So maybe you want to put dungeon, I don't know. Just put some tags there. You can have a custom message or you can just have any of these. These are just warning messages that come up before you click on the game. We don't need any of these. Of course, we got beta content on. Don't enable this. It breaks your room entirely. Let's see anything else in here. We're going to support walk, teleport, and screen mode. I don't know if you want to take off teleport or not. It's really up to you. AI nav mesh. We are not going to bake and make an AI in this room right now. We're going to save that for a sub room later. And of course, we're going to go ahead and change the photo for our loading screen to our placeholder. And you can change these if you want, but we don't really need to worry about that for right now. And we're not going to delete the room, but we are going to go to the room name and we are going to change this to title screen. Or I don't know, whatever you want. Maybe you want to name it room 1 or something. And then after you do that, we're going to bring the player count down to 4 because you can have 4 people in this room. I want you to have 4 people in the room. And then we're just going to save it so it saves the subroom details. We can just keep clicking no on these messages, by the way. And we're going to keep the subroom mood the same for right now. I don't know if maybe you want to change it so it feels like you're more in a dungeon or something. Maybe you want to make it all spooky. Maybe you want to make it like this. which gives off the feeling of being underground, but it's hard to see. I'm just going to honestly keep it on sunny day. I don't see a problem with that. We're going to turn off directional voice chat because I don't know if you want that, but directional voice chat just sucks in my opinion. I mean, even in the Mario Kart map I got, I turn off directional voice chat. It just seems like something that's not that great, maybe unless you're making a horror map. Which, if you're making a horror map, I think directional voice chat's good, but we're not going to have that in here. We're going to save this again. I know I'm saving a lot, but we need to save these settings. And of course, we are going to go back. We don't need to mess with any of these other settings right now. And we are actually going to take off fly for everyone. I honestly personally do this whenever I'm working on a map. I don't know if you want to do this. It basically makes it so whenever you don't have a maker pen, you don't fly along with everyone else. But instead of doing that, I add another roll chip. And once I add that roll chip, I attach it to my character. So that means I can fly without a maker pen, but other people can't. So go ahead and place the roll chip down. And then after we place the roll chip down, you can name it something like fly or something. I'll name it creator. Gonna edit the role and we're gonna give creator fly. And as you can see right now, it doesn't do anything, but if we go into the room settings and go over to the permissions, we can go to creator, misc, or miscellaneous, and we can click edit and then add the creator role that I just placed down. And now if I click done, you see it's lagging quite a bit. And now I should be able to fly up and down without the maker pen. I like to do this for two reasons. Number one, if you have a creator role, you can actually have something over your head wherever you join. It says that you're the creator. And number two, it allows you to fly around and see your creations without circuits, which is a really nice thing. But let's go ahead and do the circuit so people know that you're a creator. So we are going to go ahead and get the player world UI chip. Just go ahead and type in player world UI, should come right up after you do that. And then we're just going to place it down. We're going to configure the player world UI, and I have a tutorial on this, but I'm just going to do this right here. We're going to name this chip creator. You don't need to name the chip anything. I just like to name my chips so I can differentiate them from each other. We are going to disable the primary bar. We don't need to worry about that if we're disabling the bar. We're going to enable text. It's going to say creator above my head. And let's change the color to, I mean, you can change it to whatever you like. I'll just change it to blue since I like blue. We're going to have it synced so everyone can see that you're a creator. And we're also going to have it enable when joining. But we're only going to have it enabled for the creator. So whenever the creator joins, we're going to have that. And we're also going to do the new room owner lock. So if I ever have a co-owner or whatever, they can't mess with either of these creator chips. But like I said, you don't have to do that. It's just for griefing things. But anyway, like I said in the last video, we were going to work on classes. So I think I want to have it so each of these doors will send you to a different place. Or maybe I want to have it, and you see, this is the hard part about building, making these decisions like this. Because if someone just sees this and clicks on a dungeon, then. But I can honestly make it so even if you click on this, it will tell you to go make your class first. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I am going to make this the class door over here. And we already have a subroom made. So we are going to rename this to class select. If you have multiple things selected, you're going to have to drop your maker pin and stuff like that. So class, how do you enter second line? Okay, then enter again. Let's do a few spaces and then, oh, that's a little too far down. Yeah, that's a little too far down. Still a little too far down. Few spaces. Okay, and then class select. Gonna space this out a little more so it doesn't look like that. Kind of looks weird. There we go, class select. That looks fine, to be honest. Could look better, but it looks fine. Gonna have to move it like this. Oh, that's why it's moving like that. Okay. And that will be class select. Now, you don't need to have it looking like this because I know it kind of looks weird with the text like that. I just wanted to do something special. Anyway. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, before we go over the maker class, we are going to make this go down a little bit. Just so, oh. Let's go ahead and select all these doors, by the way, and connect them. I mean, merge them. That way we can just manipulate one and go to the next one. So we're going to manipulate that, have it go down. Because whenever someone loads into the room, you see that them little corners appear. Anyway, we are going to make it so if people click on this, they will be sent to a class select. So like I said, we already have a subroom. But we are actually going to delete that subroom because that subroom has nothing in it right now. And we don't need a subroom with nothing in it. So we are going to delete this. And we are going to copy. And as you can see, it copied the room. It says title screen with a few numbers. We are going to turn this into the class select room. So, oh, you need an underscore. Class select. There's 3 S's. There's only 2 S's in class select. Then it's going to be, I don't know. Yeah, let's keep it 4 players and let's disable this as the entry subroom. So you can only join the first room. And now that we saved the settings, as you can see, we got 2 rooms, class select and title screen. I wish this room lined up more to make it easier, but we will fix that later. We will definitely fix that later. But anyway, now that we have the class select room, we copy this subroom, we need to make it so this door will send us there. So there's many ways to do this. You could put a door behind here, which is the old way. You could have an interaction volume where you click. Or what you could do is you could just have a trigger volume there. And when you have a trigger volume there, the person walks into the trigger volume and they get sent there. It honestly depends on you. I am going to put the trigger volume there. But if you accidentally run into it, yeah, I'm gonna put the interaction volume. The reason I'm putting the interaction volume is I want it where you have the choice to click on it. I don't know. I might change this later depending on that. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this a little bit. And it's manipulated out. That's the wrong way. Need to make it look like this. And yes, this is very annoying. I should have made sure that it was straight when I was making it. But it's too late for that now. Gonna make sure that it's not sticking out of the wall. And we are going to go ahead and click on the interaction volume. And once we click on the interaction volume, we're going to change this to, I don't know, maybe you have this name class select here, or maybe you just want to have the word go. That way when people go up there, it will say go. I think that's honestly the simplest one. And we want to get the interaction volume in here. So go ahead in here and grab this. This is very important. Go ahead and turn on surface, and now we're going to get the room destination chip. So just type in room and both the chips should come up. Destination room constant. Yeah, that's the one we want. We are going to place this above the chip, and we are going to get a go to room chip and attach it to that execute value on the interaction volume, the on use. Then we are going to get the player who used the interaction volume and connect it to the destination, which there is no destination yet. But we are going to change the destination to the class select. And I also forgot that you have to type in the room name. So usually, I'm pretty sure they changed this in an update, which was very annoying. But in a previous update, they would have the room name already here. I think it's completely stupid we gotta type in the room name. But before we do that, because if we are going to do that, we're going to have to do that a lot of times for each of these rooms, and it's going to get very annoying. So this is actually the perfect time to make a room name. I'm just going to come up with a random room name. That's good, hopefully. So I'm going to name this Rec Dungeon Crawler. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. Rec Dungeon Crawler. Yeah, Rec Dungeon Crawler. And I'm gonna go ahead and save that. Make sure everything's spelled right. Yeah, I'll be surprised if someone had that name already. And now that we have named this Wreck Dungeon Crawler, I don't feel that bad about doing these room chips anymore. So go ahead and put in Wreck Dungeon Crawler. It is not caps locked, by the way. I know you saw me put in the caps, but if you accidentally forget to put in a capital R or something like that, you don't really need to worry about that. It's not cap lock. It will just go there for you. The subroom is going to be the class select subroom. We are going to change it to the one welcome mat that's in there. I need to change the name of that welcome mat. And I am going to have party auto follow because and I'm gonna also have it I'm gonna also have it force a new instance. The reason I got party auto follow is I just want your party to always follow you around. And now if we click on this, we'll go to the room. But before we do that, let's go ahead and save the room real quick. Like I said, always make sure that you're saving the room. And now that we got done with this little intro, now we can actually work on the classes and the circuits. So let's go ahead and click on this. It's going to send us to another subroom. And yes, I know it's kind of I know people don't really like clicking these doors and going to subrooms multiple times, like, oh, go to one door, maybe play the room for like 1 or 2 minutes, click on another door to go. I mean, I don't know, maybe some people like it. Anyway, go ahead and I mean, we can keep the doors here, we don't have to. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and delete the doors in here. Since this is just going to be class select, I'm just going to have this be the class select. And I'm going to have this go back to the title screen. So I'm going to place this over here. And this is going to say title screen. Is that good? Let me slide that into the wall a little bit. Okay, and we are going to rename this to the title screen so you can go back to the title screen. Title screen. I don't need that. And we are going to keep it synced so everyone sees it. As long as it doesn't change, it should be okay synced. We're gonna have the spawn point be the same, to be honest. It doesn't really matter. Well, actually, I think I'm gonna have it so you spawn at the door instead. So I'm going to move the welcome mat back here. And now if you go to here, you're gonna spawn right here. And like I said, I'm gonna rename this. Not title screen spawn. We're gonna name this to class select spawn. I forgot you don't need underscores. Class select spawn. And we're gonna keep the on default one so it keeps spawning you at the welcome mat. Now that we got the class select, you don't need to save the game yet. If you are worried about saving the game too much, because it can crash randomly sometimes, you can always go to the MISC in your settings in your watch and turn your backup frequency to either 1 minute, 5 minutes. I usually keep it on 1 minute. That's good for if you randomly crash, because you never know when you could crash, to be honest. Could just be random. Not to say that the game sucks, but I am saying it is random. Let's go ahead and do the same thing we did in the other room. Let's turn off fly, do the creator role and things like that. I copied this room beforehand, so that's why, yeah, I copied this room beforehand. That's why the creator role isn't there, and why it still did not have the dungeon class select sign over there. So anyway, we're just gonna do the same thing we did in that room. Do the class select, get your player world UI, do the exact same thing. And then once we're doing that, let's have finished this episode and finally do the long awaited, oh, class select, because I know the class select is what everyone was waiting for, because no one cares about this busy work, am I right? But this is what a map creator goes through, so you can't just I had a friend once who wanted to learn circuits. I showed him CV2. He never got on the game again. It's completely okay. I understand why he did that. Some people, they just have a response like that. Anyway, forget my rambling. Go ahead and make sure that you have the creator permission on. So go in the room settings and just like the last permissions, MISC, and oh, it keeps the creator on. Never mind. Okay, so once you do that, okay, so let's go ahead and do the class. So I am just going to make something that looks kind of basic, because right now we're not really focusing on the details too much. But we do want to make sure it looks good enough for people to look at and be like, oh. So let's go ahead, and that's going to be annoying. Let's see if turning off world space helps. Yeah, that should help. Okay, so we are going to move this along the wall, and I am going to type in our classes. I'm going to have some typical classes. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have a knight. Don't know. Knight has a sword. We can figure this stuff out later, to be honest. But for right now, we're just going to do some very basic very basic classes. So let's go for knight. Um, let's do a tank. Yeah, let's do a tank. And then let's do a mage. And we need a fourth class. So I don't know about the fourth class, but we do need a fourth class. Third class is going to be a mage. I already know how to do something like that. And we need a fourth class. What's a good fourth class to have? I actually don't know what's a good fourth class to have. Well, I guess in the comment section, people can tell me what is a good fourth class to have, and I'll just keep it like this for right now. And if no one tells me a good class, I'm just gonna search up something. I'm not gonna search it up right now. But like I said, this is gonna be very basic and I'll work on this later. I'm just showing you the basics of building and using these circuits. So we are going to get a button. We could also use the interaction volume. Um, should I use a button or interaction volume? I think I'm going to use a button. So I'm just going to place the button on the wall right there. Just move it over to each class. And we are going to rename the button to say choose class. That seems like something a button would have on it. The enter button doesn't work on this. Okay then. Choose class. And just to not annoy everyone, we're going to turn the sound off for this. Because I know people click on the button and they're like, oh, let me just I'm also going to unsync the text. I'm unsyncing the text to do something. So when someone clicks on it, it's going to say selected for them, but for others, it's going to still say choose class. And okay, we got all this set up. So now let's actually set up the circuits. So if you hit choose class, we are going to give you a string variable. It can also be an int variable too. But I'm going to do a string variable. And the reason I'm doing the string variable is so it saves night. And in other rooms, it's going to read if it is either a knight, tank, or mage. And based on that, it's going to activate the circuits. You can do the same thing with an int variable. But I think a string variable would honestly be easier. So go ahead and type in string. And string variable should be down here somewhere. So we are going to place this right here. And whenever you click on the button, it is going to do the night. I don't know if I want to caps lock this or no, I'm not going to caps lock this. And if you click on this, then the string variable is going to be night over here. And of course, we are going to configure this and make it a cloud variable so it saves to the cloud. Because if we don't do that, then yeah, it's not going to be great. And yeah, I don't think we're just going to keep this a cloud variable. And then after we do that, we are going to get button, I forgot the name of the chip. It's called button something. Type in button and button set text. Yeah, that's the chip I wanted. Go ahead and type that on, equip it to the string variable output. Connect the button self to it. And we're not going to connect the string to it. We are going to type in selected. So you know that it is selected. And of course, we are going to have it. So if you click on another one, it's going to go back to choose class. So go ahead and copy another button real quick. Copy another button set text. And we are going to change this to choose class if you hit another button. Choose class. And we are going to go ahead and copy this and bring it over to each other button. So copy, copy, and copy, even though I don't know what this is going to be yet. And I think, okay, we're going to name this one Tank over here. T-A-N-K, no caps. Going to connect this to the button and the execute. And we're also going to connect this to the button. We're going to name this Mage. M-A-G-E. And we are going to connect this to the execute and connect these to the button. And I don't know what this is going to be, so I'm just going to connect this to the button and connect this to the self. It doesn't really matter right now. So now if we click on the button, it's going to say that it's selected and the string variable is going to be night. And by the way, we're going to have to name all these the same. So I didn't go ahead and name this. It's all string variable. I'm talking about the text on it. And yeah, if you click on this, this is going to save night to the cloud, and it's also going to say selected on the button. But what if I go ahead and choose this? It's going to change the string variable to tank, but this will not go back to choose class. So therefore, if we click on tank, we're going to connect this to the choose class down here, and we're going to do this for each one. So that means if we go ahead and click on this and then we click on another one, the string variable is going to change, and this is going to change back to choose class. And of course we're going to do this for each one. So if I click on night, it's going to also do that. The same with the mage, and the same with whatever this is over here. This is the tank, right? Yeah. And then of course we're going to do the same for mage. So if you click on tank, oh yeah, I forgot, it gets rid of the input variables, so you might want to get multiple inputs. So I'm going to show you how to do the multiple inputs. So let's connect everything back to the night. And we are going to wait a second. Sequence should work out here. Wait a second. I never really used this chip or paid it any mind, but the sequence chip may actually help out here. So if I put the sequence chip here, and I think if I configure it, I can add another output. Yeah, okay, so if I go ahead and do, okay, so that will work. Okay, so get a sequence chip. Sorry, I don't really use this chip. I remember using this chip one time and saying this chip wasn't that useful and I would never use it again. But we are actually going to use the chip here again. So go ahead and reset the room. I hope that will reset the button, but I guess not. So if you go ahead and click on this, it is going to send out 3 sequences to each one to make this a choose class. So 1, 2, 3. And we are just going to have the sequence chip for each one of these. And yes, the sequence chip will split your execute into multiple values, but it will use more network heat and CPU. So yeah. So let's go ahead and connect this. So if you click on this, it's going to go to the choose class down here. It's going to go to choose class over here, and it's going to go to the choose class over here, and just do that for each one. So if you choose mage, same thing. Choose class for the tank, and then choose class for our last mystery class. And then of course the last one, gonna connect it to this, connect it to this, and then connect this to the mage, and there we go. Now if I go ahead and click on one, you'll see it goes back to choose class, and right now it says I'm a tank, and the others are also choose class. And if I click on this one, going to say I'm a knight now. This one's going to go back to choose class. If I do this, it says I'm a mage. All of these go back to choose class, and you get the picture. But anyway, gonna go ahead and make this Play-Doh so they'll all be choose class. And yeah, there we go. We are done with the class select system. Now, when we are making the game, go ahead and save the room, by the way. But when we are making the game, I will go ahead and show you how we're going to make it. So the knight or mage or whatever class you choose will let you go, you know, do your own class thing. But anyway, now that we went ahead and saved the room, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully in the next video we can get into some combat with some AI, and I will show you how to do the AI thing again. I got a video on that, by the way. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.